as the ballots continue to get challenged by now former President Donald Trump trying to challenge new President-elect Joe Biden. We're getting ready to put the stamp on this show for today. No misconstrued or controversies or anything right now, except we got one possibly maybe with the NBA right now. NBA fast break as it is, the restart right now. Players a little skeptical at first, the players union having to turn around in a little over 2 months when the bubble and the playoffs ended. The whole season finale got champion crowned in time. Lakers won it right there. And we're going to be gaining the 75th year of the NBA. The 75th season overall will begin on December 22nd, just in time for the Christmas holidays right now. And it was reported that earlier in the week by Stephen A. Smith and people from ESPN that players, if they will rejected this race and done the Martin Luther King restart, which will have been around January, it will have been forfeiting a little over $500,000 up to $1 billion, somewhere in the high $600 million range if they were to put on this. Instead, they do get ratified. Get amended, I should say. And they're going to be having a 72 condensed schedule for this season, which is even more good news right now. Clearing the way for the league and union to finalize details on the upcoming 2020-2021 season. And it seems like everything will be finished just in time for the summer and the Olympics. Reese, I'd like to start off with you, my man. I know a lot of people are projecting LeBron James to miss quite a few games right now, who's definitely understandably so after what he's put his body through. How much length of time do you see him missing, and what's your reaction to the news seeing it bound December?
I actually thought it was going to start in December. You want to know something crazy? The reason why I said it is because I actually played 2K, and 2K has the NBA starting in December. But it will only make sense, like I try to really explain to people, like that's like football not being played on Thanksgiving. Like football is Thanksgiving, NBA is Christmas. You got to really think about the team, Christmas game, revenues. What are people going to watch? So it's so much money that the NBA was going to lose, which comes to the players. And you got a lot of players didn't really make it. So of course, the majority of the player unit was at home already, resting up. Why start? I already missed some money because I may not have been in the restart. So let's just get this, rolling. But Christmas, they need that Christmas money. And LeBron James said he stayed ready. He paid $2 million on his body, stay ready. I can see him missing a few games, but I see LeBron James playing a good 66 games.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. You said around 66 games?
66, missed 6 games. I can see, not really to miss. Because to miss 10, 12 games to only play 60 isn't basically out of character.
You know what the crazy thing in all this, and this is like where I get frustrated with as an NBA fan, and also a guy who follows LeBron James like amongst millions, but a few years ago when he was with the Cavs, the biggest criticism that he got slammed for was for people when they were traveling on the road and he was resting his body for the playoffs, hard-paying customers coming there. You didn't get to see all-star players on the court, guys like LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, sometimes even Kevin Love. And what happened after Kyrie Irving split from James and went over to the Celtics? He went to his 8th straight finals, but he played almost the entire season, at least 99.9%, if not 100%. And what happened? Groin injury a year, later on his new team with the Lakers. Now it's like, the NBA seems to be more open to load management. Teams like the Spurs did it. Kawhi Leonard, even when he went to the Raptors and his former team right now. It's just kind of like a little an ironic twist how like now it's okay considering what you put your body and your teammates through right now. Just a little.
I really think maybe what the players union people might do is they might actually make players play in certain key games. So they may say, okay, load management, but in certain key games, you can't miss. just for like, money issue, and because a lot of games that, probably will be shorted. So you may only see a team that's used to seeing 4, maybe 2 or 3 times and things like that. So anything that works for the NBA, the NBA is okay with it now. So they like, okay, well, you guys come back, and the players have to say, hey, man, it got to be some type of middle. If you want us to come in and do this, then low management has to be more understood for us.
Yeah, you know what? The only teams I will probably be a little bit more expectation on, like teams that were not in the playoffs. When you look at
Yeah.
teams like the Chicago Bulls, the San Antonio Spurs, I mean, I'll probably look at more so the New Orleans Saints with Zion Williamson, the Timberwolves, the Hawks, teams who were not like had the opportunity to go enter the bubble. I would expect to see more of those teams give the effort. I think if anything, this would be my thing with this restart. Anybody who's made the playoffs in this bubble race, I think should have the opportunity as well, along with LeBron James, to have that extra opportune time to rest up, to charge up just a little bit.
You was already home. I don't know what's wrong with you. You ain't played since March. You got 9 months off. I think you do not need no load management. If you was not in the playoffs, not even in the bubble,
Right.
if you put anybody on there for load management, you should get fined triple. It's no reason why you're not in there. None.
For the team's not in the bubble. Just
the
be
team
clear.
that was not in the bubble, no. And I'm gonna be shaky on the teams that didn't make it to the playoffs. But if you was definitely not in the bubble, I don't care what load management is. No load management for you. You need to be out there every night.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I'm just saying, teams yell alone. Like I said, I'd probably even give the Spurs a little bit of a break too. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were still trying to qualify. But teams that were not playing since March, those are the teams right there. I'm looking more so at that point in time.
Yeah. But just check this out. You're doing a group project. You do 90% of the project, and then the person come in. You're going to say, hey, bro, you going to do the other 10. That's how it is. Like, I played 90% of the season. You only played, listen, you come. You should be fresh. They should be fresh bodies. If they was not in the bubble, that they should play every game barring injury.
Now, speaking of which, right now, I've been, I don't know about you, I'm still watching like Undisputed and First Take, and just still watching with Skip Shannon the last 2 weeks. Skip Bayless seems to have it in his mind right now that the Clippers could end up acquiring a guy like Rajon Rondo. He could probably be like the missing piece of that Clippers team right there. The guy who's still trying to build onto a Hall of Fame legacy right now, winning with 2 of the premier franchises in this league, a chip with each the Celtics and now the Lakers right there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how real do you see we see the possibility of Rondo leaving the Lakers and probably joining someone like the Clippers? And if he does, are the Clippers doing anything more to elevate themselves to the next step finally to get to the conference championship, maybe a championship final?
I don't really see. I mean, if Rondo goes to the Clippers, it's only because the Lakers let him. Like, I don't believe that the Lakers will let him go so easily, unless they can get like somebody to replace him. Rondo was, playoff Rondo was magnificent. Especially in these late games, he gave them the spark that they needed. Defense. He played one hell of a game 5. Like, I really wish they would have won in game 5. He played one hell of a game 5. His energy, everything. But if they can achieve, against someone like Rondo, it's all about control. And when you really did think about that, who's going to control? So, like, when Rondo went to the Lakers, he knew that, he's an alpha, but he was like an alpha beta. He understood that, yes, I'm an alpha, but I'm not the alpha of this. I am one of the leaders. When you go to a team like the Clippers that just got a new coach, Kawhi hasn't said 100 words since he's been born, and Paul George is sometime on the milk carton. I don't know if that can, Ty Lue is a player's coach. Will we see, troublesome Rondo? So, that's what I'm trying to say. we don't know. So, only time will tell, but definitely it'll be good for the Clippers maybe, but in the end, it's going to come down to Kawhi and Paul George, and Paul George always seems to let us down.
So with that being said, who is the threat right now to knock off the Lakers in the Western Conference? Is it indeed the Warriors with them being hurt for a season, or are we overlooking the Denver Nuggets right now? What we saw with Jokovic right there, and of course DeMarco Murray, and then you also look at too along the way. I mean, who else they beat? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the Nuggets could still get in the way of the Warriors, or do you think the Warriors are like the best team suited right now? Because I'll be honest with you, Reese, I think the Warriors kind of overplayed their hand. They got a little too overconfident when they had Kevin Durant. They messed up a beautiful thing they had there. I mean, I'm not denying that they can't get back to the finals, but if they had to go through 7 games against the Thunder in 2016, had to come back 3 games to 1 and sweep out without Kevin Durant. I really feel like since then, I mean, they've proven they did welcome a guy like Durant. He was welcoming an addition. And I don't know if it's that much of a sure given thing right there. We have no idea what, like Klay Thompson's going to be like coming off his knee injury. I mean, with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, I'm not sure if it's all that simple for them. And plus, they got a top draft pick coming up since tanking pretty much. What do you say to that?
So I think that the Warriors, it all depends on how they come back. Just like you said, you really to think about it, they have almost but besides their bench people, they have their stars really coming back. We got Steph Curry, we got Klay Thompson, they got now Andrew Wiggins, right? If I'm not mistaken,
right?
They got Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green. They're only missing a center, and they got the 2nd, I think, draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. You add that, you can really see them back in the fold. But I just have to really, I say it really, like you said, them injuries, how they come back off them injuries, how they bounce back off them injuries, how that bench come also, because remember they had people like Sean Livingston, Iguodala. These people have already went to other places. Cook, that just won one with the Lakers. A lot of their people that they had are going to other places. So that starting 5 is good, but that bench was the reason why they came in and kept it. So I think the Golden State Warriors are definitely still a contender, but it's going to be a lot of weight on Steph and Klay, and let's see if them injuries can hold up. I think that the Denver Nuggets definitely made a name for themselves. Jamal Murray has shown that he can play at an MVP level, so I definitely say don't write Denver off just yet. So I think the West is going to be more impactful this year than it was last year. But I do see, because a lot of people don't understand that the Lakers can also add another person themselves. So yeah, let's not let's not forget that they can add a third piece. So I don't believe we will really know anything until we can see free agencies and the draft, which is coming up in 11 days.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with the Warriors right now too. I'm not trying to be dismissive or anything, but when we're looking at it too, after November 18th, which would be when the draft should be concluded, they're going to try and accommodate player movement with such a shorter window to have people in camps by December 1st. But I'm just going to say this right now. I got to give the Nuggets the respect for right now. I think they deserve to be ahead of the Warriors slightly because of what they did in the playoffs recently. Then after the Nuggets, I'll go to the Warriors and maybe the Clippers. Clippers, I mean, as they just proven right now, they need to have it up in here mentally and their hearts. They haven't proven that yet. Lack of discipline yet. Still got a very talented roster, but until they could show me that, we'll find out about that.
I definitely think that Denver has made a name for themselves, and we just have to, like I said, we really, if you're looking at right now, I do believe that the LA Lakers hold the edge over any other team, but we got to see these, like you said, that number 2 pick to the Warriors that right there can be a game changer.
All right. Well, you hear that music. Thanks a lot, Reese. We're going to finish up and wrap up in the huddle with some NFL extra points right now. Some new fines just levied for mask violations, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter and NFL writer Brian Diardo for both the Steelers and the Raiders right now. And plus, we got a battle right now of 2 teams trying to snap a losing streak tomorrow between the Chicago Bears and the Tennessee Titans, believe it or not. They're still leading their division after all this. You'll find out our thoughts for analysis as they travel to the Nissan Stadium tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time kickoff. You're watching, listening On Deck. I'm Charles. It's Reese on CSR.
What time is it? Game time!